Okay guys, we are working on a Renegade parts washer, and this one caught fire. And a little bit of history on this one is that another company came in that fixes steam cleaners and replaced the pump in this, and didn't work right. So one of the mechanics here in the bay started looking at it, and he realized it was low on water, so he added some water to it, raised the water level up. Now the heater came on after that and didn't worry about it. Turned around, went to work on his equipment that he's got here, and he smelled something. Turned around, and the whole front of this thing had caught fire. So they asked us to come back in because when we work on these, they don't seem to have no problems. So what's happened here is that we need to replace the fuse holder. We have information on that. The box is kind of burnt and it's a little wobbly. Let's see if you can see that or not. The hole's kind of wobbled out. So that's something that we might want to think about. There looks like there's some heat stress cracks right there. We can talk about internally how we might want to handle that. Toggle switch, the boot cover on this toggle switch is burnt. Apparently there was actually flames that were coming out of this fuse. Can't get the fuse holder. I can't get the fuse out of the fuse holder to be able to tell what size it is, but I'm guessing it's probably was the wrong size fuse, but we don't know that for sure. So we definitely need a fuse holder, we need a fuse, we probably need a boot cover for this toggle switch. The toggle switch feels good, it's turning on and off. It's a little loose, it probably needs to be tightened up. I don't see any loose connections on any of the wires right here, which is good, but when you come back, you're going to want to bring some ends, some electrical ends, just in case you find something that's loose. I don't see anything in here that's loose, everything looks nice and tight. I checked all these wires up here on top, and I'm not seeing any burnt ends on it, no loose connections on the top or on the bottom. I looked at the relay right here, okay, and that relay right there doesn't look like there's any burnt connections. Come around like this right here, maybe you can see a little better. There we go. No burnt connections, the wires aren't burnt. It looks like it's basically just a fuse holder. Examine the wires that went down into the audible warning device. That's a little speaker, they call it a piezo. That piezo right there, when they're low water safety, that'll come on and tell them their low water's out. And let me see, it looks like there's some screws on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and pick up all the ones that I can. Could be though that when you get here you may not have all the screws. This thing's supposed to have 3 screws across the bottom and 3 screws across the top underneath this guy right here. There we go, underneath that guy, you can see it right there. You may not have all 6, you might only have 3 or 4. We'll put back whatever we can find because the customer's the one that tore this apart. So anyway, if you have any questions, let's talk about it at training.